were talking about new music and new hip hop that we liked, and we found out that we all liked different artists that most people in the school and in the around and like, you know, different social circles didn't listen to this kind of music. So we were like, that's super cool. Like, you guys like Gucci Mane, or you guys like Off Future, you guys like Soulja Boy, or whatever the fuck you were listening to, kind of thing. So we're just kind of like, that's kind of like really cool. And then we were just at school, we're like, all right, let's just play some music, let's just jam some songs. And we're like, I don't really want to play jazz, let's play some hip hop. It's like, you know, and then like add like just like kind of like jokes and fooling around and like playing certain songs and certain melodies of like songs that are very simplistic, and then like trying to make them complicated and do different things was kind of just like what we decided to do.
Look up your hands.
Well, we were majoring in like jazz performance, I guess, technically. Yeah.
It wasn't on purpose, it was just like the music we like, you know? And I mean, we all kind of spent a whole bunch of time learning all these like techniques and stuff in music school, but we didn't want to apply them to play like, you know, solar or like blues. You know, wanted to do it on songs we actually enjoyed listening to and stuff. So it wasn't intentional. That was this kind of like postmodern, high, lowbrow thing happening. It just kind of, you know, happened.
Yeah, as lame as it sounds, it was just kind of like
Completely innocent.
just like this is
we
a jam,
realized
kinda,
like how cool it was becoming way after we started doing it, basically.
We just made music one day, and all of a sudden people are gravitating towards it, and it's going places, and we're just like, we are all doing different things, not doing this.
Yeah, we're all in different bands and stuff.
Yeah, and doing different things and different lifestyles. We were still like not even that good friends at that point, like still new to just like, you know, and yeah, it was amazing. Just came by and we recorded those songs like one take, just kind of tried whatever we could come up with kind of happened, and then we recorded 3 songs and that was it.
My friends Sam and Connor, I guess they're all our friends now. Yeah. Just like,
And our friend Matt McNeil, like was
does the
recording
sound
it
and
and stuff like
stuff,
that, and they've just been helping us since day one, and
really cool guys.
basically helped us to do what we've been able to do without the intentions of trying to do what we are doing now.
Girls on me heavy cause I look so sexy. Yellow diamond shouting.
And we put that online completely as like a let's put this video.
Whatever, maybe
we'll see
like
what
a few
happens.
people will see it. Like,
Yeah. And that whole like medley, the first like odd future session or whatever, that was done as a school project. So it wasn't even done like in the intention of having a video for it. It was like, we were just kind of jamming out some stuff. Then Alex had this project, and you were like, how about we take some of the stuff we were jamming on, just do it for the project because it's easy, we've already been working on it. And then it just like, friend Sam was like, well, how about we just film it? And we just came to like, we were like just rehearsing the material. Like, and then it came online.
And then it just kind of started circulating, and we're like, wow, that's crazy.
We're kind of moving towards like a synthesis of like,
I guess we're just like combining
Beat-oriented,
sort of
yeah.
all the types of music that we're listening to or like have worked in the past for live bands. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
It's
a lot
very
of bands.
weird
Yeah.
world. Because basically when we started doing this, people have been playing hip hop and jazz, and
For a while.
obviously like a lot of hip hop records have come from sampling jazz. So we were kind of just like, okay, it's been done, but then I guess with the idea of doing new music and, you know, playing Gucci Mane and like different songs, that technically hasn't been done. And then because there was a lot of attention towards what we were doing just from like one video. We just kind of were like, all right, well, let's figure out how we're doing it, and then we just kind of, everything keeps evolving. We recorded like the first thing just completely as like almost as a joke, but just kind of like, all right, let's just record some music, and then had all the sessions and we listened back to them, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. Like, we would say it's not the best thing ever, because
we got like grown past that.
we like to critique ourselves, and like, you know, music has to grow and expand and stuff like that at different stages, but it was just completely, let's just try it out, and we had some opportunities, and we basically just got, you know, very fortunate with how certain things panned out. a lot of suspected projects to be worked on. Like we were producing a lot of beats and recording and recording on different mediums and like making music that does not sound like us at all, and
just trying to make music in like as many different ways as possible, and like just continuing to do what we like, I guess,
because that's what fucking 2012 is about.
Yeah,
you just have to be making music, and you have to be creative, and you have to be trying new things and experimenting. So like and like the new stuff, we've been working on a lot of beats and just ideas and stuff like that of how we would want to do a whole solely produced album with features and stuff like that, because obviously you can't have people rapping on crazy jazz solos and stuff like that. So I feel like the only pressure we feel is on ourselves, just wanting to play good shows, like, and because we have attention,
to put out more music, and
making sure that everything is like good,
really good,
And we all like I feel like we model ourselves, like we look at like these bands we love, and then we're like, oh, like they worked 2 years on that album, they worked so long on this thing and that thing. It's like we kind of look at what we're doing, we're like, oh, like is this like, can we work on this more? Like, is this song good enough, or like is this just like making sure that's like
we're just playing in groups and doing our own thing, completely irrelevant to Bad Bad Not Good. It's kind of just the process of seeing how you can do as much as you want and work as hard as you can and put so much time and effort, and you might just not get anything. Nothing will come of it. Your friends might like your music, and your music might go to a couple places here and there, but you might just absolutely not. You will just stay flatlined, and the fact that we've had opportunities to come to travel and stuff from what we've done, just completely
really incredible.
So grateful.
Like we played our first show
like not even a year from now.
Like in 3 days last year, that was our first show. So
and it was like a small little bar that's not even a venue. It's like packed. We made like more money than we'd ever playing shows.
And it wasn't even a lot of money.
It was very small amount of money, and people enjoyed it, and people were talking about it, and we were just kind of like,
what's
from
happening?
The music, and from the jazz world, we were from. You have to be very practiced and very, you have to spend a lot of time to get certain places from what the jazz scene, from what the jazz scene has kind of like imagined itself to be. So the fact that we were kind of doing things and being so early on, and people were liking it, we're just everything.
Super cool,
So grateful for everything. You can't you can't just do this one day, flip a coin and say, hey, let's start a jazz hip hop band and travel.
I think just a little like
super cool.
It's like really
neat, is like super interesting idea. It's like very like modern. I feel like just like the idea of like people like funding a show, and you kind of see the progress of it. It's like really interesting.
I also feel like from just being active on the internet and kind of shit, you see a lot of like social marketing projects and people trying to do certain things but not really reaching different places, and the fact that this is done so well.
It just makes like sense. It's seemingly such like a simple thing, but like surprisingly not more people. Like not a lot of people do it, you know what I mean?
I think I've never heard of anyone else doing it.
Yeah, like how many people in this city like this band? Well, why not?
Just figure it out and
if you can pull enough people to have a band who would never go to that city come, that's the coolest thing ever. And they're of course gonna go because people want them there, and that's like
exactly.
People are gonna say, hey, like bring them here.
I think it's interesting because it almost lets you see like, oh, can I play this place? Like is like pick a country, even like Brazil or something. It's like, is it possible? And then you can kind of see, if it gets funded or not, and then like see what the progress is. Maybe not now, but so many people did this time. Let's see what we can do next time. Or something. It's really interesting. It's really like gauging like how relevant you are in certain countries.
Also, like I feel like just there's so much music, so many bands, stuff like that. Trying to like pull your fans and people who like the music and what you're doing together to kind of like do something. I don't feel like it's super easy, and the fact that it's kind of an easy system to do it is really dope, because I don't know, it's like you see these bands go to places that they would never play, and they're like, yeah, that was, like, the crowd funded the show, so of course we're gonna go play that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a very neat concept, and I feel like it's just you can't fuck with it. It's just cool. If the people want to hear the music, then you're not going to argue with people that want to hear you do things.
It's like one thing for a promoter to be like, oh, we're booking you, and then like 10 people show up, and then one thing for like 200 people to actually fund the show, and then like, you know, show up obviously because they have the ticket already. You know?
Yeah, and I feel like if I was in a fan position, like, oh, this band might come here, like, I'm definitely going to buy a ticket, I would be so much more invested in going to that concert than I would be if I was just like, oh, show up, this band's
they're coming this time around.
I'd be so excited, and like, I don't know, it'd just be a cool experience, I feel like.
Well, thank you very much for having us out in San Francisco. We're 100% grateful, and it's going to be an amazing
Thanks everyone who
experience.
supported
Thank you so much.